The ICF Canoe Sprint World Championships are brought to you by the Province of Ontario, the Government of Canada, and Tourism Niagara.
Adam Van Couverden, who might even be here somewhere. And Adam was, I think, one of our first medalists. Is he our first K1 medalist, junior K1 medalist at the Junior Worlds? I think he was. All right, there's the board. The Czech athlete, lane 5, Thomas, he finished second at the Junior European Champs about a month ago. Fast time, 3:36. There's nothing slow about that. I can't even believe it.
Keep an eye on lane number 8, the Belarusian Artur Peters. And I was watching Portugal's Christian Bays train the other day. Very solid. It all depends on what he brings to the table this morning.
Yeah, and you know, now they're in the boots.
And keep your eye on the middle lanes, 4, 5, and 6, Tom. Portugal, Czech Republic, and Russia.
Yeah. Now it's just time to take a big deep breath and hope all that hard work's paid off. Yeah, it's always a very zen moment in the blocks because there's nothing you can do except go your absolute hardest at this point in the race. And these guys know they have a long one in front of them, so we're going to see a fast start followed by probably a bit of a lull in the pace as they find that rhythm that they know they can keep for such a long distance. It's also in a heat, especially at a junior level, there's a bit of vying for position, and they're off. Here we go. The first heat of the junior men's K1 1,000 meter.
And as you'll notice, Tom, the sprint stroke right off the start, they're hitting at about 180 strokes a minute, and they'll taper down to about 120 strokes a minute for the balance of the race, and then for the last 150 meters, they'll bring it back up steadily to about a 180 a minute stroke rate.
Yes, these athletes in this kind of wind are still, I mean, I said that Thomas from the Czech Republic in lane 5 done a 3:36 at the European Championships. So they're going to be a little slower today, obviously. It was a fast course over in Poznan, Poland, but regardless, these athletes will be somewhere around the 3:50 mark is my prediction in this kind of wind, which is still incredibly fast, but it's also a long race, so it's going to be a lot of jockeying for position at this point.
It will be, but what you're going to notice here is they really start to use their legs, and as our great camera crew gets some close-up shots, watch their leg movements. That's what helps them use their bigger muscles. It's not about arms, it's about back and hips.
Jeff, do you have the progression criteria for this race? Do we have that?
I do. First, actually, it's 1 through 6 to the semifinals here, Tom, and then the next 3 best times overall. So we could possibly see 6 athletes moving on to the semifinals.
Yeah, and now we're going to have the first fly cam shot of the regatta. We've got 2 fly cams, I believe. Here's one of them. See, it gives us an awesome overview of the athletes. This was always my favorite view. When they started to introduce these, it's just such an incredible way to examine some of the technique if you're a paddling nerd, and it's also a great way to get a feel of what it's like inside the boat.
Yeah, and these fly cams allow our director, Kim Oleschuk, a great opportunity to get this race up close. These are some fantastic shots here, Tom. A lot of what's happening here for the people at home, these angles and camera crew that we've got here today are doing something special. We've got the first of its kind fly cam being introduced with some microphones later on in the competition.
Yeah, so we said the progression is 1 to 6 to the semifinal. So for some of these athletes, the top guys who know that they can be in the top half of this field, this is really just for them, the first race, first warm-up, get those jitters out, get comfortable, and know where you're sitting, as lane 6, I think, is doing now.
But keep a look at on the outside here, lane number 8, the Belarusian Artur Peters is going to start challenging Oleg Sinovin from Russia.
Yeah, and here's Thomas in lane 6. He's up, and the athlete in lane 8. Looking strong. So this is a race. I mean, these guys are testing each other. They want to know, oh yeah, I can go with this guy. Yeah, sure, he finished second at the European Championships, but I'm here too, and I'm feeling strong. And it's a month later, and with the juniors, you never know, month to month, big changes happen.
And look at the big rush in lane number 6, Tom. But Artur Peters in lane number 8 is really pulling up strong now.
Coming into the last 200 meters, it's critical now to make sure that that you know where you are, you know you're in the top 6, you're just coasting into that final. Looks like there's a bit of a race. There is some advantage to coming in the top half of your heat. Gives you a better lane assignment in the semifinals, and the same thing holds for the semis. You want to be in the top half. If you are one of those top guys who's vying for a medal, you do want to finish in the top bit of your field to make sure you get a good lane in the semis.
And look at this, Tom, in lane number 5, the Czech, Thomas Vesely. He's really starting to pour it on now. He wants to send a message to the rest of the field that, have an eye on me, I'm coming after you. And here comes the Russian in lane number 6, Oleg Sinovin. And out in lane number 8, we've got the Belarusian Artur Peters.
Yeah, this is a close race. The Portuguese is going to come in 4th, safe in. Looks like there's a bit of a fight for 5th place. But both these athletes will go through to the semifinal as well, and then the rest are out.
This looks like the Czech Republic, Thomas Vesely in lane 5, took that race by half a boat over the Russian, Oleg Sinovin, with Belarusian Artur Peters in lane number 8 coming in for 3rd. Top 6 through to the semis.
Yeah. Now it's really critical actually in this race to fight all the way to the finish. The next 3 best times.